Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Week 1 of the Prep Phase League. Right now, we're going to be covering the first match of the YouTube, which is going to be Voltaic Gaming versus Just Shoot 'em, who we saw a great performance from the last tournament and league. And I am joined here with Restart Gaming. Currently, we are underway. The map chosen so far has been Evos Laboratory, and the bands looks like have just come out.
First ban Helios, second ban Gray, and right away at first pick Asana. These teams really know what they want. No surprises here. Again, Just Shoot 'em, very experienced team. Really competed for that number 2 slot last year in the final tournament. Voltaic Gaming, though, a new team made up of experienced members. Everybody's been around and been playing at a very high level in solo queue and with groups. So these teams are definitely well aware of the strategies. As you see, Helio, Rask, Gray, I mean, all the top names in the picks and bans right off the start.
So yeah, these guys definitely know what they're doing. As we mentioned, Just Shoot 'em came in third on the tournament. Excellent showing against Trash when they had to go up against them in the semifinals. And Voltaic Gaming, once again, just a lot of really experienced players we're seeing come together here, like Kato, Arctic Monkey, and Horrifier as well, coming together in a team. So real excited to see how they decide to come out here and make their showing in the league finally.
And we're seeing these teams starting to form up a little bit. We do have Rask for Just Shoot 'em, followed by Lockwood. This next pick will really solidify the team. Those two picks you can do a lot with. They're very versatile freelancers. They can go off by their own. They can perform in any composition. Same thing with Celeste, same thing with Asana. So here's where you really start to get to the meat of these compositions. What support are you going to pick? Now that Helio's banned, there's only 3 available. And how are you going to protect them? Is it Quark with his own dodge? Is it they're going to go for straight instead for Nyx? So now that Gray is banned, and that's a big tell when Gray is banned, that they might want some stealth champions. Nyx is picked out, and there's not a lot of champions left that have great reveals.
Although, they have they do have Lockwood, which kind of took the I think probably one of the best reveals for tournament play in this. But it looks like they went ahead and went for Aurora as well as a Blackburn here. Glad to see Blackburn getting a little FaceTime in the league here finally. And of course, Dr. Finn going for the Just Shoot 'em. We saw a lot of great success with Dr. Finn gameplay in the last league. And taking a look at these, both are really strong compositions. Um, any one in particular that you're leaning towards here?
Well, I think Just Shoot 'em has a very classic composition of very powerful individual freelancers, but I like the synergy a little bit better on Voltaic Gaming. I don't specifically see any combinations that pop out of me. There is the throw into multiple traps between Rask and 2 trap champions, being Lockwood and Nyx, but they both have very powerful basic primaries. So unless you're getting multiple people with that, I'm not as crazy about it. Whereas the other side has a very mobile lineup, except for, of course, their support, but very mobile, high damage. A lot of them can arc over and around walls, which is very important on this map, which is something that Nyx can't do, something that Dr. Finn has a tough time with. I think considering the map, I like the picks of Voltaic Gaming show a little bit more synergy, not only with each other, but with the map.
Well, and you have to remember too, with that Aurora pick, they could essentially just destroy any chance of combos that the other team is looking to go. With the Unstoppable mod on Aurora's Paralaser, it could basically save their entire team from going through, one of my favorites, which is going to be the Dr. Finn and Lockwood trap combo. That thing is just nasty, and you could essentially save your team an extra 35 damage apiece, plus whatever else Nyx can throw on there, just by having that one mod.
And that was a very smart pickup. They picked up Aurora after the throw and the 2 trap champions before Dr. Finn because they saw something like that coming. Hopefully they picked up that mod and they're ready for it. Otherwise, it will cause them problems. As we see these teams look at this, I love it when teams coordinate like this and really show some team spirit, as we've got Darkrow, Kodo, Arctic Monkey, and a Horrifier over on that left side showing themselves some team spirit.
And
Little
absolutely, and definitely, We got Awesome Sauce over here, a member of the creator program. Congratulations to him on that. So let's see, we got yeah, not a lot of synergy going on with the backgrounds and things on the side of just shoot 'em. But of course, with the name that they've been running, they don't really need to do anything extra there.
Yeah, with that name brand recognition, it certainly helps. And here we go straight into the first turn. We'll see, will these teams take a side approach? Are they going to go straight up the middle and start bashing?
So it looks like we got what is this? Just shoot 'em. Going to be coming down to the bottom side, and so does the other team. Looks like they will be meeting each other quite quickly here. Just make sure. Looks like that is all correct there.
So first turn, as always, just runs, can't use abilities. And just looking at the map, nobody has vision of anybody else right now. Some teams like to take pot shots. Other teams just like to double move. I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of double moves here. We might see some energy gains from Awesome Sauce. I don't think we're going to see a lot of pot shots.
I don't know. With some of the range that we have on the other team with Nyx, pretty much all of these have pretty decent range on some of theirs. We're gonna see a lot of just shots thrown out there. There, of course, goes the Nyx pot shot.
And here comes Lockwood, some taunting out super early in the game, so they are taking indeed some pot shots, mostly just picking up things. Horrifier does find Hacksaw in a common position for a frontliner to take up that very front spot, and then here's where it gets interesting as the teams finally collide.
So yeah, it looks like we got Rask exactly where he wants to be in this. Right in the middle of everybody. He should be able to hit everybody but Blackburn in that one position. And of course, Kato over there hiding off to the side, probably trying to sneak around from the back to, or actually, even as a Sonic, could really kind of bounce into wherever he might want to be. So let's see how that kind of plays out for him.
Nick's taking his invisibility. Looks like he'll just be taking a backseat, trying to pick off the enemy team. An excellent trap over by Lockwood to pick off. They do know Asana's back there, so they're going to stop her and take a shot as well, doing a lot of damage. Saber King's going to go straight for the support as Rask helps out, putting a bit of damage on Darkrow. Arctic Monkey's going to return the favor, and looks like they are going to focus Rask, see if they can get him down before his ultimate goes off, as he builds that so quickly. But the trap, unfortunately, Kodo did not dash through, actually backed off, expecting that. Good move by him to prevent a lot of damage.
And I got to say, I was actually pretty impressed there. We had Rask, came in there, didn't even use any kind of catalyst or anything, was still able to preserve 3/4 of his life despite the fact that he was essentially surrounded. And of course, Kato not running through that trap was definitely a good thing. Was able to bring him back, and he just did a single move without doing any actions that turn, which kind of played out for him.
Dash by Rask brings him in the backfield. Don't know if he'll still be next to anybody. Saber King will whiff with that as Carradine, so looks like that there is nobody there for them to shoot. A lot of damage missed. Awesome Sauce and Horrifier taking just a bit from Aurora. And Awesome Sauce gonna go ahead and put that tracking on Horrifier so they'll know right where they are, even through the stealth, as both teams back off a little bit from that heavily aggressive start, split up pretty far apart right now.
So yeah, it looks like they are playing incredibly defensively at this moment. We do have Rask there at the very bottom of the map, kind of out of range to do anything as he just used his dash. So he's probably going to be just doing a double move this turn, trying to catch somebody in the outs.
Trap by Nyx predicts a dash. Looks like he's not going to get one, although he'll probably get the movement through. This time, Carradine hits his mark, but unfortunately, Kodo reflects some damage right back on Darkrow, and Kodo going to focus Awesome Sauce and the support stuck in the middle of the map. That's what you want to see, the enemy support under pressure. As a little spraying going on. Again, these teams weren't in a great position to do a lot of damage, but Awesome Sauce in a rough position in the center of the map.
When you say that, but also Kato, despite the fact that he is Asana, it does appear that, he does have a dash up, but at this point, he is surrounded by essentially 3 of the enemy team members. We know Finn, of course, can deal out damage when he needs to, and Rask should be able to reach all but Kato, Horrifier, and Arctic Monkey, meaning he's in an excellent position to deal out damage this turn.
Heal goes out on Kodo, so it looks like he might stay this round, but it's going to take a lot of damage if he does. Arctic Monkey going to dash out to try and get some shots. Does get 2 people from the enemy team and might prevent some damage, but bounces more damage into Kodo. That's going to be unfortunate this turn. A nice taunt coming out from Kodo. Does get a 2-person hit, but that's all as Hacksaw returns the favor. Extra damage coming out from the ion field, going to bring Awesome Sauce even lower, and Hacksaw's pretty low themselves. C4 helps. Keratin misses because of the dash, and Kodo still at a decently high health despite being surrounded. It is Awesome Sauce who continues to be focused and CC'd in the center of the map.
So it does look like Hacksaw does have his ultimate now, but incredibly low health. Unfortunately, does not have his dash up to place it where he wants to. So he's just going to have to either use his catalyst to put it where he wants, or just let it go there and use it as kind of a cutoff point to prevent anybody from going through that area for a short period. And of course, looks like the rest of the team is going to probably be focusing on Finn, stuck in the middle there here, surrounded by 3 out of the damage dealers.
Kodo tries to do his dash to the middle. Awesome Sauce and Hacksaw both choose to dash out using their catalyst. So there'll be a lot of missing going on this turn, as those were really the only 2 you can target. C4 Saber shoots across the map, manages to get a good shot on a little more damage. Keratin as well manages to sneak in some damage in the corner. But a whole lot of nothing because of those very well-timed dashes.
So yeah, it looks like Awesome is on the other side now, going to probably take this time to heal himself up. Hacksaw still has that, now that he's done his reset, is going to have the ability to heal himself back up. So that's 2 40-point heals over 3 turns. And so that's really good. Of course, has his dash back again to kind of move. He dropped that ultimate right there in the middle of where the enemy's going to be, and now he's going to take this turn to probably dash right on out.
Kodo shields up, knows that there is no cover for them at this point. Keratin's going to try and predict again as he dashes out himself with that free trap. Hacksaw dashing through, just making sure he doesn't die before that healing goes up, but Arctic Monkey's going to miss as now C4 takes a shot at Darkrow. Darkrow only catches Hacksaw really in that, despite his dash and just a whole lot of no damage. These teams have been very smart about their movement. Here comes the taunted Finn ultimate, and I do believe he has health regain on this, so choose to do this instead of heal. He's going to get a double pulling people through the trap. The combo goes off. Awesome Sauce gains a lot of health, does a lot of damage. Great ultimate from Finn.
Yeah, it looks like the teams are fairly split out now, with the exception, of course, of Keratin over there in the corner. We got Voltaic Gaming in, I think, pretty great positioning here as well to kind of move on to wherever they'd like to. Of course, it does look like C4 does have his ultimate up, which that positioning may come back to work against them in this turn.
That is scary. Might and an ultimate on Nyx means no matter where you are, you full health or not, you have to beware. Hacksaw doesn't get anybody to dash into him, so another miss there, but Keratin gets a double shot with the Pierce. Will this be pile-on damage from Nyx, or is this going to go somewhere else? It goes off to the side, bringing Darkrow and Kodo extremely low as Horfire just tries to pile on Hacksaw. His healing was too much, but will it be too much for... No, Darkrow takes him down with the Ion Cloud, despite all the healing going on. And C4 wisely just steps 1 step to the side in case he got Ion Field, which he did, but now is perfectly safe.
I gotta say, that was first blood to Voltaic Gaming. Congratulations to them, especially against a veteran team such as Just Shoot 'em. So with Just Shoot 'em performing so well this last team, it is very nice to see that some of these newer teams with the veteran players who haven't played in the league before coming up and stirring things up a little bit.
Awesome Sauce continuing to run around the map, healing, catches C4 as well. Looks like a flash will mean that C4 are not able to get any damage. Taunts left and right this turn, but he's going to get 2 people with it, so well taunted indeed as Darkrow and Hora take a bunch of damage. Nyx is going to run through the Ion Field, unfortunately not using the waypointing to skip it, maybe not able to, but will end up in cover. However, the enemy team might know he's there because he did take damage from the Ion Field, they can guess.
And of course, we got Just Shoot 'em back there in a very defensive position, with the exception, once again, of Keratin, who has his ultimate, may choose to use it this turn, although he may not opt to save it for another better positioning.
There's that free trap. Still no indication of what he's going to do. Just hopefully trying to catch people out. Spray from Awesome, not going to catch anybody. Horror, not going to catch anybody either. Vision playing havoc on both teams. Fortunately, Caradon does get a big hit, and so does C4 Saber King. A double hit. They're really focusing Dark Crow. Nice bomb by Arctic. They did guess, indeed, that is where C4 went after he crossed through the ion field, and now teams re-engaging. This is where the real kills start to pile
Oh
up.
yeah, and this is where it's really coming in. Caradon has perfect positioning to get a 3-man ultimate down on there. And of course, Rast there to throw out any damage. He should be able to hit Arctic Monkey as well. I can't tell 100% if that'll be in the cluster. And of course, you know, with Dr. Finn right there as well, should be able to tag all 3 of them with a spray.
Yeah, if you've got a way to get out, because this is a cluster, no doubt, as even Kodo is contributing in this battle. Going to fly in, give some shields. Turtle techs all around from those that aren't leaving, and even some that are. It looks like a trap from C4 Saber King predicts the dashes out. As Kodo goes in, Horrifier leaves, tagging Awesome Sauce along the way. Caradon does not use his ultimate, predicting that the other team's going to leave. Dark Crow can't, so it's just going to sit there and take some damage. Awesome Sauce going down to 7 health, but getting a 4-person spray. Caradon helps finish off Dark Crow. Will they be able to heal out of this? No, the answer is no, as Hacksaw gets a great throw to take down the support of the other team while putting Arctic Monkey directly next to Caradon, allowing Caradon to run over the health.
And of course, Caradon, you know, a little out of position now, deciding to instead deny that health. But of course, we got Awesome Sauce over there, not in the greatest position, deciding probably going to, you know, bubble himself. I'm not sure. It looks like he has used his catalyst already, so he is stuck there. And of course, you know, we have Hacksaw.
Man, that double shield just bringing Awesome Sauce up to 53 again as Kodo and Hacksaw dash around. The bubbles are going to put Horrifier down to negative health. Unfortunately, Arctic Monkey able to finish him off there. The shot from Caradon isn't going to catch Arctic after the dash. Hacksaw going to help with just a little bit more damage. And C4 finally rejoins the battle, doing a full run to get back in, healing and might. That is a deadly Nyx.
So now we got both tanks going to be facing off against each other, probably with the help of Nyx over there on the side. Caradon looks like still just kind of hanging out over there. He's been protecting that health bubble for several turns this game.
He's just trying to focus down Arctic Monkey and can't get the shot. Both teams using their dashes really well. Looks like he's going to hold his ult to the end, though. At 14, it's, hey, use it at the right point because you're not going to get it again. Kodo's going to root Hacksaw and try and get away at this point. We'll see if they make it. Arctic not able to take the hit. Hacksaw in the stealth did go 1 square too far. Caradon takes a hit on Arctic Monkey just to make sure that he doesn't get anything. Unfortunately, Hacksaw's throw not able to push Kodo through the trap. So Kodo's going to be sitting next to the trap, but only one direction to go if they don't want to take damage.
So yeah, once again, looks like Caradon holding on to that ultimate, not able to find the greatest position to use it, but still dealing out an immense amount of damage this game at 353, highest damage for both teams.
Dark Crow is going to heal up Kodo a little bit so that Kodo doesn't have to dash through that trap or walk through it, that they can live just by going through. But Hacksaw's dashing out of the way, doesn't want to take any more damage, wants to get back to his team. C4 Saver instead is going to be the one dealing damage to Kodo as Kodo just swings the sword in the air helplessly. Arctic Monkey trying to contribute as well, and Caradon trying to hit, but man, the vision in this game and the dashes are just making it so hard for any team to reliably land damage.
So and of course now we got the a kind of a spread out cluster here, which should make things a little bit more interesting here for the last 5 rounds of the match. And of course, Caradon now probably going to want to use that ultimate here in the next couple of turns, just so it doesn't go to waste. And of course, then we have is that Horrifier as well with an ultimate.
And looks like Horrifier is using this turn as the bar drains. Caradon is going to get damage on both Arctic and Kodo, bringing Kodo down to negative health. And with no healing looking to come in, this may be the end for them as Awesome Sauce tags Horrifier. Going to give him those eels to bounce. The stealth C4 Saber King is going to take so much damage from Horrifier's ultimate. That was indeed the last you'll see of Asana here for at least another turn as they get picked off in the end.
And of course, now with it being 3-2, we've got Just Shoot 'em bearing down on Arctic Monkey. I'd say he will probably be going down this turn as he actually has his catalyst still left, so he will be able to escape out of this if he so chooses, which might not be a bad idea with them in the rear.
But this is rough because Voltaic needs 2 kills to take the lead by the end of the game, or at least 1 to tie it. And the advantage right now looks to be in Just Shoot 'em. They're chasing down Arctic Monkey. The rest of their team in relatively high health. They've got to maybe find Hacksaw as shots come in from the distance from C4 Saber and Awesome, just trying to prevent any dash shenanigans from going on. They do manage to find Arctic Monkey, though, following him directly to the corner. Arctic in a lot of trouble that he has no cooldowns available to him.
Well, and the fact that bounce shot managed to hit him revealed his position, which meant that chase Hacksaw put on him put him right next to him instead of behind that wall, so that really made things bad for Arctic Monkey there.
And I just don't see a way out. We'll see if they can pull a miracle out this final turn as C4 Saber King, or these final turns, 3 turns left, but C4 Saber King dashing out, just trying to live, saying as long as we can get this kill, we're pretty set. Horrifire is going to try and get damage, but again, that dash out made them live. Carradine gets the final shot, and that's going to be a 4-2 lead into a very tough final 2 turns.
So, and of course, we got all 3 of them just grouped up here. Dark Crow, Kato, and Horrifier just in a square. C4 right there with a Nyx ultimate. This is not going to be pretty. Of course, Awesome Sauce has his ultimate as well. And just, I don't see that that group up there being a good thing here in just a few moments.
Well, they're desperate right now for kills. They need kills, and they need them fast. They cannot afford to wait at this point. Horrifier is going to dash through. They're just trying to find Nyx, figure out where he is. They don't have position on him. Now they will as he goes to shoot. But again, just these bouncing damage from Carradine in the back. Dark is going to hit Kodo and Awesome Sauce, but not find Nyx. Awesome Sauce is going to get a great ultimate to pull these 2 out of position. Dark Crow and Kodo just being pulled into Noahsville. C4 has cover from both of them. Awesome in the middle of the map, but full health. So really not a threat in this final turn. And man, it looks rough for Voltaic in a great played game, but I don't see them coming back.
Yeah, I don't see any way for them to focus down anybody in particular. I mean, C4 would be their best bet with only 89 health, but with the positioning that they currently have, there's really no way for them to take him down from 89 to 0 in a single turn.
And especially they need 2 kills, not just 1. So even if they could take down Nyx, they need another kill as well, which is the full health bubbled up Awesome Sauce is their only other target. It's just not happening right now. A valiant final effort. Hacksaw's going to dash out. Koda's going to try and get that last little bit of damage by dashing in. Arctic Monkey's going to take a swing, but C4 Saber King is going to retaliate with the ult, boosting those damage numbers just a little bit more. The bubble from Awesome Sauce getting a double hit. And it looks like good games coming out all around as it is a 4-2 victory. Just Shoot 'em takes game 1.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the stats for this. So once again, like I said, Carradine was just destroying it this game. 545 damage, 575 overall contribution. And I'd like to point out, he only used 1 ult in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Only 1 ult. And what's those bounce shots found their mark so often, even when he didn't have precise vision. It's so important to say, even if they dash, or even if they're somewhere, I'm just going to cover as many squares as I think they can be in. And to predict those squares, you saw that great bounce shot that let Hacksaw chase Arctic Monkey into the corner, really let them get that 4-2 lead that secured the game. And it's just the placement of these shots was amazing.
Yeah, and the spread out of damage was really between Carradine and C4. Of course, you know, Hacksaw playing Rask wasn't able to deal out just as much damage, but he was able to stay in position enough to just keep the pressure on that was able to let them just wear down the enemy team with just those 2 firepowers primarily pumping everything out, whereas you see on the other team, the damage was a little bit more evenly distributed with Horrifier bringing in the max amount at 371.
Yeah, things looked a little rough in the beginning when Awesome Sauce did get quite a bit of focus, but able to eke out with just a little bit of health, a great ultimate, and some healing to come back in later. And even though they did take a death, really managing to keep your support alive that early, despite being out in the middle, means they're going to take a lot of focus away from the rest of your team, and you're going to see big damage numbers as a result. Great job, Just Shoot 'em.
All right, looks like we'll be looking to get that second round started here pretty quickly. Let's see. So yeah, I was definitely kind of surprised to see that match turn around the way it did. It looked like Voltaic Gaming had the leg
Yeah,
up in the beginning, but it was quickly turned around by the more experienced Just Shoot 'em.
definitely playing as a team for quite some time helps. I'm sure these teams will have tons of games in no time. So there was a lot of preseason matches going on, and there's going to be a lot of scrimmages, a lot of team meetings, a lot of strategy going on. Teams are really taking this season seriously. There were a handful that took last season super seriously, but there's a lot of strategy meetings going on. Teams are looking at maps. These guys are playing to win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know with the announcement of the last season where kind of the surprise prize money came out there, which was definitely an incredible happening. Really kind of, I guess, stepped it up to the next level where all of a sudden people were like, oh, wait, we can win money doing this. Well, now we need to hammer it down. It's not just for fun anymore. Let's take this a little more seriously. And of course, we've seen several teams brand new just show up, all with experienced players who, weren't into the league before, but all of a sudden they just have an interest and they're dedicated because these were people who were playing solo queue games and just regular pub games all the time, and they just didn't necessarily want to organize up to play in a community tournament. But all of a sudden the interest is there, there's prize money, and everybody's taking it a little bit more seriously.
All right, and we just want to mention as well early on in the proceedings, we'll revisit it again at the end, but PrepPhase is doing a giveaway on Twitter as well. So if you guys want to follow at PrepPhase, all you have to do is follow them and retweet their tweet, and drawings will be done at random 1 hour after the end of the events today. There's a Twitch stream that's going on as well. So an hour after that's done, as well as the YouTube broadcast. So just stick around for a while and retweet them on Twitter. Go follow at PrepPhase. You'll find out about when all the awesome games are coming up, and you'll be able to be entered in to win an awesome prize.
All right. Looks like both teams have readied up. The home team is, deliberating and waiting to choose their map.
I'm not seeing a custom game. Are you?
Yeah, I haven't seen the game pop up yet. So, but they have both readied up.
Yeah,
'Cause it
hopefully
is
they will set up a. All right, so we're going to direct them on exactly how to do this. Again, this is the first week for a few teams, although JSE should be pretty experienced for season 2. So a lot of teams working out the kinks in their teamwork right now. Hopefully they'll get it down pretty soon.
yeah, and it is Voltaic Gaming is the home team this round, so they just needed a little reminder there that they need to be the ones to make it up. So, but yeah, let's talk about that last game for a little bit. That performance was incredibly strong in the first half, and of course, Just Shoot 'em pulled back, did a little bit of a regroup, and then just kind of closed in on the what was it? It was three of them that were split apart and just kind of turned it into a killing field there.
And yeah, it was such an aggressive start that pushed really into one side of the map, and it really separated the team out a little bit. But the focus and the awesome escapes that came out of that, really a lot of people escaping on really low health, only to come back together into that massive turn of ultimates, really is where things started to switch around. We had quite a battle going on there, I have to agree.
So yeah, like I said, I was kind of excited there in the beginning to see one of the. I'm always like I said last season. I'm always kind of rooting for the underdog. So when I saw Just Shoot 'em kind of being taken by a brand new team to the league, I was a little excited. I wanted to see it happen. Nothing against the Just Shoot 'em guys. Love you all, but whenever I see something like that, the unexpected happening, I have to root for it.
It is worth noting as well that that Just Shoot 'em didn't actually get to play the number 2 team in the finals. So they're really right up there. The number 2 and 3 positions last season were super close. So this team can be considered extremely strong, and you're just going to see performances like that where they steal things back from the brink pretty much all season long. Hopefully Voltaic, again, experienced members, and we saw amazing play, can pull it together for an extra turn or two this time and make it so that maybe instead of a 4-2, it's a 4-3 at the end, and they can eke out a victory or at least a tie that final turn.
Yeah, with all the new teams that we have coming on this, some of which we found out are actually teams that have broken apart and kind of distributed to other teams. I think we were talking about, Play for Fun a little bit earlier is actually made up of team members from other teams that are no longer around from the league. So we saw a little bit of, I guess, redistribution of players for this particular season. So, and that definitely makes things a lot more interesting. So it looks like we've got the first band coming in. Map, of course, pick was Flyway Freighter, one of my favorites. And Finn being the first band pick.
I think teams are actually talking about they may need to redo the draft. They may not. Hang on, we'll get them as in just a second. All right, so that may indeed be true. Yep, Finn banned out first, Rask banned out second, and we are on Flyway Freighter right now. A big map. Now, last time we had a big map, but with lots of walls, which gave a strong performance to people who could shoot over walls. But ultimately, it was just that bouncing damage in the long straight lines that gave Nyx an advantage. So I'm not sure that Voltaic is going to let Nyx through to the enemy team this time, given that it's an even bigger map where he shines even more. And where these shots can come around from corners into these open areas, you really can't hide from them. I think they're going to change up their pick and bans a little bit, and you're going to see quite a different matchup.
Got it. Yeah, it looks like we did have some issues with the draft. Apparently, they did not ready up.
All right, let's see if we can't get them to. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get them to see what they can do about this draft here. Let's see.
All right, apologize for the delay, everybody. So just trying to figure this out real quick.
We want to make sure everybody gets as fair a match as possible. Yeah, so we'll get the official ruling on what they want to do with this draft. Apparently, so I think that we may see even different than what that draft page shows right now. It's going automatic for them. So we may just go to all chat and do it in there. I think all teams are familiar with the drafting rules at this point.
Yeah, it looks like neither teams did any pick or readied up, and at this point, it's just pretty much the timer is picking all the picks and bans.
All right. So I think on this map, then you're probably going to see Nyx picked, but I don't think they're going to let it go to JSZ. I think that they're going to swap that out. So, what other priorities here are we going to see coming out from these two teams now that we've got a changed map and we've also got a changed priority here where we know, okay, the teams know what the other teams are doing good with?
Well, I mean, at this point, I think, they probably want to try and get just shoot them, knocked off their comfort zone a little bit. Because as you saw last game, they took all Lancers they were incredibly comfortable with. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it was a composition they had actually played with in several games last season and done incredibly well with. Of course, anytime they take either Finn or anybody like that, they're just going to be able to destroy it. And not to mention the fact that they got Rask, Lockwood, Finn. It was just a killer composition to begin with.
And it would be killer composition again. I'd love to see Rampart on this map because the teams are pretty far apart. It gives a chance that a freelancer we don't get to see often can really shine. Again, because it's open, teams like to take the freelancers with a little longer range. They like to take the freelance, but those are usually the freelancers with more straight shots in them. And the teams aren't always going to be as close as they are. They're going to be a little bit more spread out generally because that's where the cover is. It gives a big chance to block a lot of damage with that shield. Now, do I think that that's going to happen? I think these teams are very practiced with the frontliners they already like. So I'm not sure, but I would love to see that coming out. Some unusual picks that can really make a big difference on these maps.
All right, looks like it is reset, so we can get that going here. Uh, looks like yeah, they're doing flyaway freighter still. That was an actual choice, I suppose.
Yeah, that was the map, and it looks like the gray ban is a legitimate ban that they wanted. So they'll change the custom settings to make sure that that is going to be reflected.
Looks like we are missing one person off of just shoot 'em though.
We'll try and wrangle these teams back into the map, guys. Don't you worry. Sometimes these players need a little coaching to get back in, but they're rock solid once they get in the game.
Let's see, who are we missing? Looks like we are missing Carradine.
We'll try and get them together. Let's see what we can get. There's Carradine. Carradine's back. Okay, everyone's back. Yeah, so apparently they're having some issues once they had the false start with the restart of this page.
There it
But
goes.
looks like there goes the ban. Rask banned out, and the timers are up. We're good to go. Just Shoot 'em is going to be going for the first pick. We are back in action. We apologize for any downtime or delays as we get these ironed out again. First game of the season 2, trying out some improvements here. But looks like the timer is back. I believe both teams can click again, so they're ready to roll.
All right, so let's see. So we got Gray and Rask.
So Gray banned out is the same strategy we saw last time. They banned out Gray, and then if they got Lockwood, they went straight for Nyx. Now this time Helio sneaks through instead of Rask being picked after Helio was banned. So they said, fine, if you ban Rask, we'll get Helio. If you ban Helio, we'll get Rask. It is one or the other. We want them.
And I'm really interested to see who they decide to take along with Helio for their combos. So, because one of my favorite combos is going to be a Helio and a Pup, and unfortunately, we just don't see a whole lot of it in tournament play because it's kind of commonly agreed
Well,
upon that Pup isn't the greatest for tournament play.
now, knowing Carradine, they're going to have a Gremlins this map. Anybody that has a knockback where you can, instead of relying on the Helio self combo that you can see coming and get out of with a paralyzer, with other abilities, if you can lay down that wall and knock somebody back the same turn, which is, I mean, the knockback from Gremlins is amazing. We've seen them pull that off before. Just Shoot 'em loves the combination of Helio Gremlins. Now, that's not to say they can't pick something else, but with Rask's throw gone, they're really left for some ultimates for pushes unless they want to go for something else.
And
And
there it
Pup is
is.
picked up. There's the Pup.
Excellent. All right.
You get your
So
wish.
now I'm interested again. All right. So, and of course, we got Asana and Lockwood down there for Voltaic, going for a very, very standard startup there. And man, I am really excited to see what happens with that Pup and Helio.
Well, Pup has a lot of room to play around with the stealth of his. Now, of course, he can be revealed, and that's going to be very bad for Puff, but not as bad as some other characters. He still gets health back. He still can dash around the map with 2 characters and pull them into very, very bad spots. And if he pulls a character off on their own on such a big map like this, chances are they're going to be isolated with Pup for at least a turn or two.
And
Finn coming out as the next pick for the other team, so they've already got a support, a firepower frontliner on Voltaic, and it's
yeah.
up to Just Shoot 'em.
And it's a very strong lineup so far from Voltaic, while a little bit untraditional coming out from Just Shoot 'em so far.
Yeah, Just Shoot 'em's going for some interesting things, and I think here's where you're really going to see where it's going to come together, because Pup and Helio they do have a lot of synergies. Pup can pull people through his wall. Pup can deliver the black hole, well invisible and well dashing. Great delivery system. That's a very strong synergy, as you mentioned, and I'm happy to see it out. But where are they going to go besides these gimmicky Pup delivery, pull through a wall? Where's the rest of the meat of the team going to come in? Once you pull somebody through a wall, how are you going to apply that damage besides just Pup biting somebody? What's going to come out as the time ticks down on Just Shoot 'em? They do pick that Gremlins. Extra options. I love seeing this. So now they also have that push from the Gremlins knockback. They've got the mines that they can pull people through and black hole people through. And they go with Zuki in a 3 firepower composition.
Well, to be fair, you can actually play Pup as a little bit of a frontliner. You take that extra heal on the bite, and he has fairly decent survivability. About as much as you could say on a Garrison.
Yeah, it's still not fully frontline. Now he can take a beating, so he's going to have to be careful. But what a lot of people complain about with the 3 firepower composition is you don't have the vision a frontliner would give, being up in the enemy team, being able to show you where they all are. If you're playing firepower, normally it's all ranged in the back. That melee up in the front gives you that vision, and the stealth lets you show where everybody is, because with Gremlicians behind walls, with Zuki in the back, with Helio not wanting to be so much in the front, although you can play an off-tank Helio,
And
you're
then,
not going to have a lot of vision. But Pup gives you that the same way a Grey Drone would. Nice selections. These teams have some pretty solid teams.
um,
I'm excited to see how this map goes. The composition of Just Shoot 'em, able to apply a lot of damage onto Voltaic Gaming. Can they get it on the right people to take down the squishier members first?
well, and then of course we have Celeste coming out from Voltaic, making their lineup to be an incredibly standard one so far. Looks like we are just waiting on them to get everybody on the right side.
Yeah, they're trying to switch the teams out here. Apparently, somebody had joined on the wrong side with the misselections in a little bit earlier. Teams just noticing now.
There we go.
And there we go, as both teams are fully in and ready to go.
All right, well, let's go ahead and make some predictions after this little bit of a delay here. Sorry about that, everybody. So we've got our non-traditional lineup coming from Just Shoot 'em. We got Helio Pup, Grimo, and Zuki with the ban on Gray. And then Voltaic coming in with super traditional Asana, Lockwood, Finn, and Celeste after they have banned Rask. What are you thinking here?
Well, I really like the aggression that Just Shoot 'em is putting out, and I really want this to work. And it can if they get a lot of early damage, but some cautious play and some smart play means that I think that this might be the game Voltaic comes back and takes one off of Just Shoot 'em. They have excellent character selection. We've seen them have very solid positioning last time, able to dodge a lot of abilities. And if they can dodge as much as they did last time, the enemy team's all combos this time. If they can dodge one part of the combo, it drastically reduces Just Shoot 'em's efficiency. So I think that Voltaic, with their solid composition and their smart play, may be able to pull this one out.
I I kind of have to agree with you that time. Although, we saw the positioning of both teams last time. Both was very, very good until, Just Shoot 'em was able to actually just kind of corner them and pull off just a lot of damage all in one turn while there were no escapes available. We have Voltaic running that super traditional lineup right now, and we know that these are very strong players on both sides. Voltaic, probably their only weakness at this point is these guys haven't been practicing as a team for as long as Just Shoot 'em has, who pretty much played in every single weekend event for the league last season except for week 3, and all the way they played from tournament level 1 all the way up to the last day on Sunday, where they played the very last game, which was the 3 and 4 matchup. So they came away with third place in the tournament because of that. So they have been playing a lot together in these league matches.
And specifically, Carradin's been playing Gremlicians a lot, especially in tournament play. Watch out for this Gremlicians play. If you're a fan of Gremlicians, always a treat to watch as we get ready to start in our game 2 for this season 2 matchup.
All right, and here we go.
All right, so both teams getting set. Now, traditionally, you're not going to see people run too far in the center and give vision on this one. This is also going to be a blind turn 1. It does look like as well we've got Voltaic Gaming on our left side as the blue, and on the right side as the red, we do have Just Shoot 'em for those following along. A full dive right by Just Shoot 'em, and a full dive left. This is a classic matchup. This is when most teams meet in what's affectionately dubbed the love tunnel. So much cover in here in an otherwise open map. Teams feel a lot more comfortable in there. But who does it really play towards more? We're going to find out in these next couple turns.
So yeah, I don't think a single side has ever actually been said to have a particular advantage in this spot. Although, in my personal opinion, as we're looking at it now, I would say the right side has a little bit more of an advantage when teams are meeting up here because they have a better view, whereas on the left, you've got that building in the way, making it for everybody has to aim in from an angle as an instead of directly on. And of course, both teams meeting up a little bit right here.
And now red team has a little bit better view with Zuki in the front, but you think she's probably going to dash out of this one. We'll see as these teams get ready for their first turn of actual combat.
So I'm kind of curious to see what Dr. Finn is doing so far away from everybody.
I'm sure Dr. Finn did not want to get pup assassinated on this turn as the black hole comes out on Hacksaw. And Hacksaw is going to go deep into the enemy team. Saber King just escaping off to the side. Kodo will be in a good position hopefully next turn. Darkro trying to predict will not find anybody as Kodo swings as well. And just going to be a lot of missing thanks to that jump out by Saber King. Mines coming out from Carradine over the top. The trap, the corner of it, such a big trap, hits Awesome Sauce. And now Hacksaw might not actually have a line to anybody that he wants to. I think he might be able to get Kodo. We'll find out.
Yeah, it looks like Hacksaw might be able to tag Kodo, but then again, Kodo's not really in a position to hit anybody with the swing now, so he might be dashing himself. So this should be kind of interesting. The positioning at this point really kind of in a situation where nobody can really have a good lead on anybody else.
Yeah, I'm sure that they thought, especially Hacksaw, thought the enemy team was going to retreat backwards, but the push up the center by Horrifier, followed by his team, really gave them pause here. The Wall of Pain's going to come out behind Kodo and Horrifier just to cover their retreat, as Saber King's going to put down the trap, hopefully doing a super wombo here. They're only going to catch Horrifier in it, though. And the shot by Arctic Monkey predicting that dash perfectly. The trap as well. It is Hacksaw taking a massive bit of damage, although Saber King does catch Kodo dashing. But man, they're just piling all into this one pull on Horrifier. And we're going to see it happen right now at the end of the phase. Horrifier gets pulled over Hacksaw, through the wall, into the trap, and in the middle of a big one. You can bet they are leaving this turn. That is most likely a catalyst, because otherwise it's death.
Yeah, and I would have to say I think that probably worked out a little bit better for them than they thought they would, with the fact that we had the dash out of there by Kato, put Hacksaw in just the right position to pull Horrifier into the center and through the wall. So definitely going to be a good catalyst burn happening right here, and we'll see what happens between the rest of them. We got C4 and Carradine kind of stuck up top, although that doesn't affect Carradine too much as a Grimo.
Kodo, knowing they'll be focused, throws up the shield in the middle of the enemy team. Darkro is going to put out that eel that's going to be bouncing around for several turns to come as Arctic Monkey takes a shot on the Hacksaw. Hacksaw was going to try and finish off Horrifier, but Horrifier did the thing we all expected. Got right out of there. Saber King not able to hit them. Thought they might dash to the health. Good cover there to see if they dash to health, but isn't what happened. Prediction skills a little too strong for that. Carradine's going to just mine up the rest of the tunnel so nobody can run through. And Hacksaw continuing to chase Horrifier. Horrifier's still not out of the woods yet.
And of course, Horrifier's still holding on to that ability dash to be able to get out of there. We'll see what happens, whether he wants to dodge out of there from that, because if he doesn't, he probably won't be doing too well after this next turn. And of course, we have Kato putting the aggression on the Awesome Sauce, although with Awesome Sauce being a Helio, he should be able to take quite a bit of damage without worrying too much about it.
Horrifier dashing way into their own team's backfield as Kodo is hitting Awesome Sauce. Awesome Sauce far enough away where I don't think the eel's going to be able to bounce to somebody. Darko trying to predict the dash, but not sure who's. Maybe predicting Carradine might dash through to try and get the hit. But they're just going to sit back as Saber King and Carradine content to just blast away. They know the enemy team's going to dash, so they're going to focus Darko and also get a little bit of Arctic Monkey in the back, pushing Darko onto a trap. And these combos are just destroying. These are some fancy combos, and they're pulling them off like it's an everyday thing.
Absolutely. I mean, like we've stated several times, the skill level of both these teams is quite high. Of course, we got C4 and Saber back here, just kind of hanging out near that health spawn, while leaving Hacksaw out there, kind of in the wind, surrounded by three enemies.
A nice heal coming out. Will heal both members of the team. Hacksaw going to dash to get away from what he thinks is a lot of damage, as Saber King's going to continue to pound on Dark Pro. Karen just taking a defensive measure, going to stop Kodo from running back, but they expected this dash. Horrifier and Arctic Monkey working together, taking down Pup.
So, and that was an
Pup goes down in the first kill of the game.
Yeah, and that was an excellent prediction considering he kind of actually had. I want to say there were three options for him to dash to there, and for them to identify the fact that he was going to go for that one particular spot and lay in on it completely, just top notch.
So once again, Just Shoot 'Em gives up the first kill to Voltaic Gaming. But is this going to be a repeat, or will Voltaic be able to push this advantage into a victory this time, as Darko gets a double hit on the enemy team? Saber King's going to come back saying, "You're in cover, but I don't care. Here's some bombs for you." And of course, Gremolitions rarely cares about cover, throwing those mines up, trying to predict where Dark Crow is going to go. Saber King rooted in a very awkward spot and without dash, as Kodo is going to come up and try and get some massive damage wisely instead of following, going in front of Saber King so they can try and get damage on more than one enemy.
So yeah, it looks like everybody's a little bit spread out now. Kato right there in the middle of them. Definitely not in a bad spot to begin with. And of course, Dark Crow's over there holding on to an ultimate. I don't know if he would necessarily want to use it here, but he would be able to snag two players if it wasn't for that.
Karen bouncing around, going to put more damage onto Dark Crow, but they're just not able to focus enough damage onto him at this point to really do anything. Horrifier is going to heal themselves while at the same time putting some damage onto Helio, who has his ultimate ready to go. Kodo is not going to hit anybody as everybody escapes. Here comes a big Finn ultimate. He's going to throw it right over and not catch anybody. Giant ultimate, but unfortunately a myth. Just a whiff there, as Saber King manages to get out of that one, use the catalyst in a perfect timing. You thought they were only going to take Kodo damage, but they spotted Dark Crow at the last second and were able to dodge it.
Well, yeah, and it looks like, unfortunately, we've got Dark Crow and Arctic Monkey in a great spot here for that Grimo ult. Of course, they do both have dash or some sort of protection available to them.
And there comes the bubble from Dark Crow. They know this is coming. They have vision on where Keratin went to, and they know he has his ult available. Awesome Sauce going to set up a wall just to see if Horrifier is going to dash to it. Horrifier does indeed, as Arctic Monkey also dashes out of the way, expecting that ultimate. Here just comes a taunt. And he's not taunting the damage. He's taunting to say, you guys thought I was going to ult, didn't you? And indeed, he was right as they tried to dash out of the way. Saber King trading blows in the back with Kodo as we advance the next round. But Keratin still has his ultimate, and now they don't know exactly where he is.
All right, looks like we got Horrifier down here, still scrambled from that wall and really incredibly out of position, although that's not necessarily a bad thing because he wasn't going to be able to do much this turn anyways. You can just use it as a 2-turn to move into position next turn. And of course, looks like everybody's kind of matched up.
Helio's going to put his ult on Pup, hoping Pup can apply some damage this turn, as Saber King predicts where the enemy team is going to go as they dash and hope that they're being followed. Hacksaw dashing directly next to Darko, going to put that Helio ultimate to good use, doing plenty of damage here, as Darko takes 32 from that mighted ultimate after taking the dash damage. The bubble's going to return a little bit of favor, slowing down Awesome. Hacksaw unstoppable, so not going to be affected. Kodo, again, not able to land damage on Saber due to all the dashing. Wasn't directly following, so won't hit that center square, but still in a big damage zone from Saber King, as Saber King has ult available as well.
Looks like a lot of ultimates available at the moment. We've got Keratin, Horrifier, Arctic Monkey, Kato, and C4 Saber King, all with ultimates available to them. Here in the next round or two, we are going to just see some incredible amounts of damage be pumped out.
Speaking of that, Kodo dashing directly to the center of the map, going to get damage on Hacksaw and Awesome Sauce while at the same time trying to save their support. But Sabergang's going to come in with a 3-man ultimate if nobody gets out of the way. Horfire as well is putting up their might. The dashes come out though as Hacksaw, Awesome Sauce, and Arctic Monkey leave their spot. So it is only Dark Crow that's going to be hit, but look at that damage from Horfire. Going to put Helio down to 1 HP. Saber King goes down to 1 HP as well. And there are several freelancers just at 1 health. Dark Crow only had 26, but he's going to get hit as well. Go down to 19. Carradine is ulting as well as just member after member takes damage. This time it's not 1 HP left, though, as Celeste goes down, bringing this to a 1-1 matchup, but it's not going to stay that way for very long with these healths.
So yeah, we got Awesome Sauce and C4 both at 2 HP. That was just, I guess, unlucky math on the side of Voltaic there. So, of course, we do have Dark Crow here, probably going to be going down this turn if they decide not to use that Catalyst with only 20 health stuck in the enemy team.
Awesome Sauce dashing out so he can get his shields back up, save him for another turn. Saber King just trying to apply some damage, goes ahead and puts the shots down, but unfortunately takes some from Arctic Monkey as Arctic Monkey gets the kill with 2 health. You didn't expect them long for this world. The Big Bang coming out from Carradine on who? It's got to be Kodo. Kodo being knocked back, so not able to threaten the enemy team, and with a dash not available till next turn. You'll expect the root coming out this turn, but who? On Carradine or on the shield of Awesome Sauce?
So yeah, it looks like Awesome Sauce only has a shield available to him this turn. Probably won't be able to survive with both Dark Crow and Kodo aiming down on him. So, because that would only put him up to a maximum of what, 32, 31.
Now there is cover damage, so depending on exactly if his black hole has a shield too, that might be able to save him. We'll see. Horrifire going to try and get a shot, but not quite far enough to hit Pup. Arctic Monkey, again, these bounces from Lockwood have just been amazing all game, hitting Carradine. There comes a root from Kodo on the Awesome Sauce, bringing him down to 19. Carradine's going to hit a double on both Arctic and Kodo. Dark Crow's just going to go ahead and Catalyst up to try and heal, so Awesome Sauce is going to survive for another turn. Although Dark Crow's going to start to be in a little bit of trouble, only at 14 health. Might be able to make it up to healing. We'll see.
So, of course, it does look like they have that bubble up this turn, which will probably keep them alive in order to make it to that health bubble. So, of course, C4 has spawned back all the way in that corner. That is one of the disadvantages of this particular map. When you do respawn, you respawn quite far away from where things are happening.
Now, though, Nyx and Zuki, 2 characters that might be able to hit on their first turn, so we'll see if they're able to nick the edge of Kodo or not, as they do have quite a long range with either the basic shot or explosion. Awesome Sauce going to be able to put some damage on the Dark Crow, but just explodes that bubble. Saber King is able to get damage on Kodo as soon as they come back in. Horrifire not able to apply any with the distance that they're in the back, but not willing to run directly into the trouble. Carradine's just going to try some predicts as they lay a little bit more on Arctic Monkey. Kodo taking that extra slice on the Awesome Sauce, and Arctic Monkey bounces around the back, avoiding the cover bonus, getting another kill to bring this to a 3-1 game.
And of course, this is Voltaic at the 3-1, so very impressed with their play this turn. Looks like they saw what was happening in the last match, and we're like, you know what? We're going to take that traditional composition this time around and really lay it into them, make sure we leave our mark in this first week. And they are doing a good job so far of that.
Once they're spread out like this and they can't perform these combos reliably anymore, their composition and their play loses a lot. Carradine able to be dashed through, so he's going to take some damage from Kodo, and nobody's going to plan for where they ended up this turn. A Saber King takes a miss. Carradine's going to go ahead and just shoot far into the distance, try and stop Dark Crow from running away. Pup, though, is scrambling Dark Crow, hoping that they're going to run over these mines. The blast will slow Hacksaw, as well as put the eel on Hacksaw, so he can't stealth away, although he's got several turns before he can stealth again, but just going to bounce that damage around.
So it looks like both Kodo and Dark Crow are both kind of in a bad spot here, with Dark Crow just being scrambled and Kodo just having used his dash, although he still does have a catalyst available. Whether or not he would want to use it here where he can, you know, swipe 3 members of the enemy team is yet to be seen.
Wall coming down behind Arctic Monkey as Carradine bounces out, going to put some damage on Darko, but the healing brings him back up. And I'm sure that this ultimate will... Oh, no, that's just a basic shot, able to catch Hacksaw and Saber King as the eel bounces around doing even more damage. Finn, such a powerful support for damage. Kodo's going to swing as well, and Hacksaw taken from 3/4 to 1/4 health in a single turn thanks to this focus, but going to heal a little bit and take down Finn with that final chomp. Last action of the turn.
All right, we
bringing it back to 3-2.
Yeah, and they actually have a decent chance to turn this around here, considering they are well grouped up. Although Kato kind of down there with really only his catalyst as an escape. They do have 3 members of the enemy team near low health, so I think that just shoot them, depending on where this goes in the next turn or two, may be able to turn this around.
Yeah, they definitely have a chance here with this black hole coming up. They're going to throw it on Pup, and they're going to try and restart these combos for these final set of turns. It looks like the jump out by Zuki going to keep them safe this turn. And look at the prediction as Kodo flashes directly into the middle of this big one.
Yeah, I got to say, that was a pretty amazing shot right there. I really got to give I mean, even though they all walked through those traps there, C4 really laid that in the best possible place he could have.
So it looks like Kodo has no escapes here and is just going to go down. There's nothing that's going to save them here. The question is, what else is going to go on this turn? Because there's only 2 turns left. And this is going to be at least 3-3 after this. Looks like Shield's coming on Hacksaw just to try and keep him alive so this doesn't trade back in the opposite direction. Hacksaw's going to dash all the way through to Horrifier on the other side. Kodo's not going to get any damage on him as he goes for the root, and so does Arctic Monkey, crossing the damage, but an excellent dash by Hacksaw keeps him out there. Horrifier is going to take a little more damage now. The double fist does hit Hacksaw, but still alive at the end of this. Saber King is going to put that no cover damage bomb on Horrifier to explode next turn. It's not going to explode next turn on Horrifier because Horrifier is down. Awesome Sauce just taking a little return damage to secure that kill. And here comes the pull through, bringing Horrifier out in the open. Horrifier does have dash available to him.
Final turn.
Yeah, it looks like Horrifier, yeah, like you stated, does have his dash, which he will probably be using here in order to drag the game into overtime. I don't necessarily see any spot here that could be used in order to end the game right now.
Well, Hacksaw is extremely low. They could take Hacksaw out and end this game, and we'll see if they're going to be able to do that, as Hacksaw doesn't have any escapes either.
Well, if they do that, you know, that would pretty much leave a... Oh.
So the dash through Horrifier brings Hacksaw down to 3 as Carradine bounces out, not wanting to die. Hacksaw's not going to be able to heal from this bite that they're not going to be able to trigger, and Horrifier goes down to 24. Saber King knew they had to predict, did not get the predict down as Horrifier just jumps into the middle of the enemy team. Dark Kraus gonna fulfill the kill on Horrifier, and there's nothing left. Arctic Monkey runs through the trap, but a narrow 4-3 victory.
So congratulations to Voltaic Gaming, leaving it at a 1-1 for Just Shoot 'em and themselves.
An impressive comeback in the just a final turn there. They thought they had evened it up. It was an impressive play to bring this to 3-3. And that final kill, they ran out of ways to protect Pup. And Voltaic, we said it, as soon as they could get away from those traps, as soon as they could get away from the pre-planned Voltaic combos and use their very mobile champions, use their very mobile team style play to go ahead and split up the enemy team and not be face down, they had stronger individual matchups and they were able to pull out the win.
So yeah, and it looks like you know, the real difference here is, you know, both C4 and Carradine were able to put out just very decent amounts of damage, whereas on the other team it looked like Horrifier was never really able to catch up. You know, pretty much leaving Kato to try and make up that extra damage as a frontliner.
All right.
All right, so that was it. Just Shoot 'em versus Voltaic game and ending in a 1-to-1 lineup for the game. And we will be taking just a quick break here before we head on to the next one. And let's see who.
Just stick around because we're going to have an awesome match for you. Some new teams that you're going to be seeing a lot of: Play for Fun versus COTP, that really neither team made an appearance last year. Brand new teams for this year, but they're getting in. They got in nice and early, and they're showing that they want to play every round. So come see them play for the first time ever in the PPL league in this next match.
Absolutely, and we will be back here probably in about just 5 minutes or so. So we will be back shortly.